Today we will see what is common source stage with a diode connected load. In the last session we have seen common source stage with a resistive load. But in many of the CMOS technologies, it is difficult to fabricate resistors with tightly controlled values or reasonable physical size. Therefore, it is desirable to replace RD with a MOS transistor. A MOSFET can operate as a small signal resistor if its gate and drain are short circuited. See, diode connected load in the sense when the gate and the drain terminal are short circuited, then it is known as the diode connected MOS device. See, this is a N transistor and this is the P transistor. This is gate terminal, source terminal and the drain terminal. Gate and the drain terminal are short circuited for the N transistor. See, for that P transistor, this is source, gate and the drain terminal. Gate and the drain terminal are short circuited. Such a device is called as the diode connected device. This configuration exhibits a small signal behavior similar to the two-terminal resistor. Now, we will derive the expression for impedance of this circuit. This is a small signal diagram of the diode connected device where we have GM into V1. V1 is nothing but it is an input voltage. GM into V1. R0 is which represents the channel length modulation effect. And when we have to get the impedance, we have to introduce the voltage source Vx at the output. Because of this voltage source Vx, Ix is the current flowing into the circuit. Using the small signal equivalent circuit, we have what is V1 or how V1 and Vx are related. Since they are in parallel, we can write it as V1 is equal to Vx. And what is Ix? How do we write the expression for the Ix? Ix is divided into two parts. Some part of the Ix is flowing through R0 and some part of the Ix is flowing through Gm into V1. Therefore, Ix can be written as the current flowing through R0. How is the current flowing through R0? It is the voltage Vx divided by the resistance R0 plus the current through this branch is already there, that is Gm into V1. Since V1 is equal to Vx, we can write it as Gm into Vx. This can be written as Vx into bracket 1 by R0 plus Gm, or Vx by Ix is equal to, take this Ix this side, you have 1 upon R0 plus Gm. This expression can be represented as 1 by Gm parallel to R0. This is equivalent to 1 upon Gm. Now what do you understand by this? The impedance of the diode connected transistor is equal to 1 upon Gm. Similarly, we have to derive the impedance when with the body effect, you can say. If the body effect exists, then we can use the circuit of this structure, and this is the small signal equivalent circuit. It remains the same. See, this is Gm into V1, this is R0. Since body effect is existing, we have to introduce this, that is GMB into VBS, and we have introduced a voltage source Vx, and because of that Vx, Ix is the current flowing. So from this figure we have what is V1 is equal to. See now, if you tilt this Vx above, then how you can relate V1 and Vx? V1 is given as minus Vx. And what is VBS? See, VBS is in parallel with V1. If you want to write VBS in terms of Vx, this can be written as VBS is equal to minus Vx. Now considering this node. So let us consider this load and apply KCL. What does the KCL states? The incoming currents, or you can say the algebraic sum of incoming and outgoing currents is equal to 0. Apply that. When we apply that, we have Gm into V1 plus GMB into VBS plus what is the current flowing through this? It is voltage divided by the resistance, that is V1 divided by R0, and Ix is also the incoming current at this particular node. We are considering this node, plus Ix, it is equal to 0. Now from this expression we have to obtain what is Vx by Ix. Since V1 is equal to minus Vx, we have substitute Vx in place of V1, that is minus Vx in place of V1, we get minus Gm into Vx minus GMB into Vx minus Vx divided by R0 plus Ix equal to 0. Therefore, Ix is equal to, take Vx common, Gm plus GMB plus 1 upon R0. We want the expression for Vx by Ix. This is equal to, Vx by Ix is 1 upon Gm plus GMB plus 1 upon R0. This can be written as 1 upon Gm plus GMB parallel to R0. This can be approximated as 1 upon Gm plus GMB. What we have? Vx by Ix with the body effect, we obtained it as 1 upon Gm plus GMB. Without the body effect, we have the expression of Vx by Ix as 1 upon Gm. So this is without the body effect and this is with the body effect. Now let us see, when we have a diode connected load into the common source stage. Previously what we have studied, here in place of this transistor we had the resistance RD. So since there was a resistance RD, it was named as common source stage with a resistive load. But in place of RD now we have a diode connected transistor. Diode connected means the gate and the drain terminal are short circuited. So this M2 is the diode connected load. Since it is diode connected load, we call it as CS stage with a diode connected load. Let us derive the voltage gain equation for this circuit. For negligible channel length modulation, AV can be written as, AV is a voltage gain, that is a fundamental expression from the resistive load circuit, minus Gm into RD. What is Gm with respect to the resistive load circuit? It is the Gm of the transistor M1. Since there are two transistors M1 and M2, we have to write what is with respect to M1 and what is with respect to M2. See, this Gm is with respect to M1, therefore it has to be written as minus Gm1. And what is RD? RD is the resistance with respect to that resistive load circuit. But what is the resistance of the transistor M2? The resistance of the transistor M2, as we have derived in this equation, Vx by Ix, which is a resistance, that is given as 1 upon Gm plus GMB. And this 1 upon Gm plus GMB is with respect to transistor M2. Since that is with respect to transistor M2, this RD, in place of RD, we write it as 1 upon GM2 plus GMB2. So this is equal to minus GM1 into 1 upon GM2 into bracket. GM2 is common, 1 plus GMB2 divided by GM2. This is equal to minus GM1 divided by GM2 into 1 upon 1 plus neta, where neta is equal to GMB divided by GM, or here it is GMB2 by GM2. Now expressing GM1 and GM2 in terms of device dimensions, we have, let us write the equation of AV in terms of the device dimension. Already we have obtained what is the expression for GM. Let us write with respect to GM1 and GM2. So AV is equal to minus square root of 2 mu n C ox W by L of the first transistor multiplied by ID1 divided by square root of 2 mu n C ox W by L of the second transistor multiplied by ID2, that is GM1 by GM2 into 1 upon 1 plus neta. Since ID1 is equal to ID2, we have AV is equal to square root of this ID1 is equal to ID2. Therefore, we are left with only W by L of first transistor divided by W by L of the second transistor. W by L of the first transistor divided by W by L of the second transistor multiplied by 1 upon 1 plus neta. This is the expression of AV when we have a CS stage with a diode connected load. See, the linear behavior of the circuit can also be confirmed by a large signal analysis. Now, neglecting the channel length modulation for simplicity, we have, from this particular figure, we can write it as the current flowing through this transistor is same as the current flowing through this transistor. It means that we can write ID1 is equal to ID2. And write the expression of both the IDs. Let us write the expression half mu n C ox W by L of the first transistor multiplied by VGS minus VTH whole bracket square. But what is VGS with respect to the first transistor? It is Vin minus VTH1 whole bracket square. So this is equal to half mu n C ox W by L of the second transistor and VGS minus VTH whole bracket square. Gate to source voltage. See, gate voltage is connected at VDD and source voltage is at Vout. Therefore, we write here as VDD minus Vout. This is minus Vout minus VTH2 whole bracket square. Taking the square root both sides. we have this square and this square will cancel out when we take the square root. We have square root of W by L of the first transistor multiplied by V in minus VTH1 is equal to square root of W by L of second transistor VDD minus Vout minus VTH2. Thus, if the variation of VTH2 with Vout is small, the circuit exhibits the linear input-output characteristics. The small signal gain can also be computed by differentiating both the sides with respect to Vin. When we differentiate, we get it as square root of W by L of the first transistor. When you differentiate with respect to Vin, this will be 1 and VTH1 will be 0, and we are left with W by L of the first transistor and the square root for that. This is equal to square root of W by L of the second transistor multiplied by VDD is 0. So Vout has to be differentiated, minus dou Vout by dou Vin minus dou VTH2 by dou Vin. Upon the application of the chain rule, that is dou VTH2 divided by dou Vin is equal to dou VTH2 by dou Vout multiplied by dou Vout by dou Vin. This can be equal to neta into dou Vout by dou Vin. Now substitute this in the above expression. Square root of W by L of the first transistor is equal to square root of W by L of the second transistor multiplied by minus dou Vout by dou Vin, that is this term, as it is minus, in place of this we write this expression, that is neta into dou Vout by dou Vin. Simplifying this, square root of W by L of the first transistor divided by W by L of the second transistor is equal to minus dou Vout by dou Vin into bracket 1 plus neta, or dou Vout by dou Vin is equal to minus square root of W by L of the first transistor divided by W by L of the second transistor into 1 upon 1 plus neta. See, this expression is same as this expression. See, of course this is minus. So W by L of first transistor divided by W by L of second transistor into 1 upon 1 plus neta, and the same expression we have arrived through the large signal behavior. See, next is CS stage with the current source load. See, in applications requiring a large voltage gain in a single stage, the relationship AV equal to minus GM into RD suggests that we increase the load impedance of the CS stage. But with a resistor or a diode connected load, increasing the load resistance limits the output voltage swing. Therefore, a more practical approach is to replace the load with the current source. Now what we have, this load is replaced with the current source. See, first we have studied this load as the resistive load. Second circuit we have studied this load as the diode connected load. And the third circuit we have studied is, it is load with the current source. See, in this figure, both the transistors operate in the saturation region. Now, how do we derive the expression for the voltage gain here? So, to derive the expression for the voltage gain, we will draw the small signal equivalent circuit of this. See, here there are two transistors. So, let us start from the first transistor, that is the M1 transistor, where the input voltage is applied. So, we have the input voltage Vin. So, always this is the gate terminal, plus minus, let us call it as V1, and this side is a source terminal, this is the gate terminal. And what we have in the small signal equivalent circuit, the first is Gm into Vgs. So that has to be between the drain terminal and the source terminal. So this is a current source, Gm into Vgs is nothing but it is Vin. Gate to source voltage is Vin. Since it is with respect to the first transistor, let us mark this as Gm1 into Vin. So next, when we have to include the channel length modulation effect, then we have to represent a resistance of R01. Why R01? Because it is with respect to the first transistor. Now apart from this circuit, we have one more transistor which is present. And the small signal equivalent circuit with respect to this transistor should also be drawn in the same circuit. So now if you take this, VDD will be is equal to 0, even VB will be is equal to 0 into the small signal equivalent circuit. Therefore, if you consider the first part, that is Gm into VGS, that becomes 0. VGS will be 0, gate to source voltage, because this is 0, this is 0. So VGS will be 0. We will not get Gm into VGS with respect to the transistor M2. Now what we are left with? We are left with only R02 with respect to the transistor M2, and this is R02, and this is the output voltage. So when we draw the small signal equivalent circuit, our voltage gain equation becomes very simple. So AV can be written as AV is equal to minus Gm1 into R01 parallel to R02. Why AV is equal to minus Gm1? So again we have used this before, that is V out by V in. AV will be is equal to V out by V in. So here V out by V out is equal to what? It is current multiplied by the resistance. Current we have is Gm1 into V in. Resistance is R01 parallel to R02. So this is for your reference. Therefore, V out by V in. This is of course minus, because if you turn this, you will have minus sign. V out by V in is equal to minus Gm1 into R01 parallel to R02. So this V out by V in, directly I have written it as AV is equal to minus Gm1 R01 parallel to R02. This is the expression for the voltage gain of the CS stage with the current source load. Next is CS stage with the triode load. A MOS device operating in deep triode region behaves as a resistor and can therefore serve as a load in a CS stage. See here, the MOS transistor operates in the triode region. See, such a circuit biases the gate of M2 at a sufficiently low level, ensuring the load is in the deep triode region for all the output voltage swings. Now how do we write the resistance R on 2 for this particular circuit? That is CS stage with triode load. See, basically the expression of R on is given as 1 upon mu n C ox W by L into VGS minus VTH. From this expression, we can write R on 2 as 1 upon mu n C ox W by L